back to Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. So what we got going on this week is we got us a new swarm, a little swarm about that big. And I was out here last weekend and my four-wheeler wouldn't start, so I was tearing the carburetor out and it had water in it. So I was taking care of that and work on it, and I could hear the big ruckus behind me, you know, all the bees going. And I got over here and looked, and it looked to me like they were coming out of hive 7, 8, or 9. Those three right there are kind of in the middle. So we put the new tiny swarm right there on the end in position number 5, where 5 was that weak hive that I combined with number 1. So they flew up here in this old dead redbud, and I got some old comb frames and put right on top of that limb, and they went right up on that. And I did that like 3 times, and I started putting them in the box, but I never could find the queen on any of those frames I put in there. And then all of a sudden the bees that were left on the limb all took flight, so I think that was the queen, and they all went into the box. So, and I never did see that queen. So today we're going to get in there and see what we find. It's probably going to be a virgin queen. So what I suspect has happened is we've had a hive that has probably superseded a queen, and when they did that, there was more than one supersedure cell, probably multiple, and one of those queens left. And so we need to also get into those 3 hives that I could see. It looked like where bees were coming out of a lot, and see if I can look in there and make sure a queen's in there. So it's end of September, and this is not a good time for a hive to be requeening. If I look out across the field here, I can see probably a dozen dragonflies flying around. So and they can catch a queen bee really easy. So it's not a good time for a queen bee to be doing a mating flight. So anyway, let's get into that nuke and see what's in there. Okay, here we are at the new tiny swarm entrance. So we got bees there guarding the front entrance, so looks like they are still in there. Okay, we got our smoker lit here, but probably not going to need it for this small of a hive. So I can see bees up in here, that's good. So we gave them some drawn out comb from these hives that were absconded, some of the better comb. So it looks like most of the population of bees are right in this area, but I do see them over here as well. Okay, I'm going to start on this left side here. So I did put a frame of honey in with them, and that's what this frame here is. So this came from hive number 16 over there that was really full of honey. This was a frame that had some wax moth damage on it. There's a couple of wax moth cocoons right there. Get them out of there. So the bees are cleaning this up pretty good. I see some hive beetles in here. I need to get some traps going. I need to clean that bottom board off too. A lot of that's falling down on the bottom that they cleaned up. There's too much open comb in here for this small of a colony to protect. So they're not touching these 2 frames. Hoping we'll see a queen in here. So there's a little bit of nectar right there. Looks like they put that in there. There's nectar on this side as well. Didn't see a queen. And this has a lot of pollen in it. Bee bread. See all the different colors of pollen in there. And a hive beetle. I have not spotted the queen. Okay, so I didn't spot the queen in there. One more thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean off this bottom board where they cleaned up these old frames. A lot of that junk fell onto the bottom, and that's a good place for small hive beetles to get started. And I'm seeing quite a few small hive beetles in there. Yeah, it's just infested down there with small hive beetles. See all those little beetles in there? Bees are chasing them around. If I scrape all that out of there, they won't have a place to hide, except up on the frames. But we need to get that cleaned up, so it'll be full of larvae before long. I'm going to smash as many of them as I can. All these bees flying around are trying to figure out where their hive went. Trying to clean this up as much as I can. Okay, so we went through it. We didn't find a queen. So what do we do now? So gonna check back in here a couple more days consecutively. When I get home from work, I'll check it a couple more days, and if I don't see a queen, we'll know it's queenless. So I'd bet you about anything that queen went out on a mating flight, and dragonfly got her. So that means we're going to have us a little queenless colony here, which isn't a big deal because I've got 2 weak colonies. Got Tiny Swarm 2019 way over there, and I got this number 1 and 5 combine that I can add this to if I want. So I got a couple of options there. Probably what I need to do is actually move Tiny Swarm 2019 over here, do a newspaper combine, and that'll get them oriented to this location, and I can shut that spot down over there that's in the woods or back in the trees. It's a pain to get back in there. So that's it for this video. Not much more we can do here. So hey, give me a thumbs up. That's it for this video, and don't forget to subscribe on your way out, and we'll catch you on the next video. Take care.